The Eagles bolster their trenches with a signing shortly before training camp. We'll talk about what it means. Also, a potential position switch for an Eagles rookie. Could it happen? And lastly, a former beloved Eagle just will not shut up. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Philly, your number one home for Eagles coverage. Hit the like button if you enjoy the show. Be sure to subscribe, and as always, ring the bell down below. That way you don't miss any of the coverage. We will be breaking down training camp right here for you on this show. Today, though, RB back, bringing you another one from the link. We'll talk about a little signing the Eagles went out and made. They finally made a move, right? It's been some time, been quiet on all fronts, but Howie Roseman strikes again. And man, a former Eagle just will not keep the trap shut. I want to know from you, though, down below, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most excited you've ever been, how excited are Eagle fans for training camp next week? Let me know down below before we jump right into it. Shout out to our sponsor of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code ATOZPA and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, man, let's jump into it. We will start off with the signing from just a few nights ago, and that is Dennis Kelly. Does that ring a bell? Former Philadelphia Eagle, drafted by the Eagles in the 5th round back in 2012. And the Eagles bringing him on board as a backup tackle. I honestly like the signing. Tom Pelissero reporting it here. He's now 33 years old, definitely up there in age, definitely, past his best days, but 33 years old, 54 career starts, and 15 of those came with the Philadelphia Eagles. He had a couple good seasons there. I think back in like 2017, I want to say 2018, he played for a couple different teams. He was on a really good Packers team. He played a couple years on the Titans where he had an extension, and this past year he was with the Indianapolis Colts. But, just a nice vet to have. I like the signing. Bring back some familiarity. As Zach Berman says here on Twitter, he gives the Eagles a veteran swing tackle, and Howie Roseman vindication for the DGB trade 7 years later. Man, Dorial Green Beckham. It has been a long time since I heard that name, man. I cannot believe he was in that trade. But Dennis Kelly back to the Philadelphia Eagles. What do you think about this signing? Again, I think it provides some good depth, and I'm not mad at it. Give him a chance to come out, see what he can prove. Obviously, he was a free agent still for a reason, but I like it. Bring him back. The other thing we want to talk about before we get into the main topic is Keeley Ringo, who we've highlighted here a few times in the past few weeks, right? He was working out with Budda Baker. There was a lot of speculation about that. Here was a post from months ago before the draft. NFL Rookie Watch had put it on Twitter, and it said, NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah says that a move to safety should not be ruled out for Keeley Ringo. The Georgia corner allowed just 1 touchdown last season. Ringo says he is targeting to run in the low 4.3s in the 40-yard dash at the combine. So again, this was months ago. Obviously had a pretty good combine, got drafted in the 4th round. He recently just got signed to the Philadelphia Eagles. He was the last rookie to sign, but now there's a lot of whispers, a lot of rumors since he was working out with Budda Baker about him actually converting to safety. And when you think about the Eagles depth chart, right? Obviously, maybe making that positional switch, might, incline your game, to a different level, right? It might give you more of an opportunity. When you think about Slay Bradbury, you're probably not cracking that. So why not make yourself more useful? Maybe, slot corner, obviously, but, they have Avonte Maddox and they have other bodies. They went out, they signed a couple vet safeties. They lost CJ Gardner-Johnson, but even CJ, right? Transitioned from corner to safety. So maybe Keeley Ringo kind of looks at the situation very similarly. And here's a video recently of Keeley Ringo. It says, Ringo moving like this at 210 pounds is a scary sight. He spent time this offseason with names like Budda Baker and Bobby Wagner, And now Ringo will be able to learn from some of the league's best at training camp. I agree with that. One of the best secondary rooms in the NFL. Look at the way he's moving, man. The Georgia Bulldogs are coming in hot this year, man. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Keeley Ringo, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, all these guys. I cannot wait to see, how they show up the training camp. Again, I've always said I love the winning mentality. I love the fact that they've won a lot on different levels because, kind of breeds that mentality throughout the locker room. And, having guys that are used to that kind of, I know it's a different level. It's good for this team. So what do you think? Should Keeley Ringo transition to safety? Should he transition to safety? I wouldn't mind it. Speaking of safety, the guy that left the Philadelphia Eagles is still running his trap. And I'll be honest, I was a big fan of CJ Gardner-Johnson. I wanted them to retain him and bring him back. It did not work for sure, but I am very happy that Darius Slay is a Philadelphia Eagle. At the end of the day, though, CJ Gardner-Johnson has just pissed me off to a different level at this point, and it takes a lot for these guys to tick me off. Here he was playing a GTA stream the other day, and once again starts talking about Philly fans. Now, the past couple months, right? There were all these cryptic posts leading up to him signing, and there was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of reporting, right? The Eagles had tried to bring him back. Then his agency said no. They tried to test the market. It wasn't good, and then there was all this speculation. And then after he ended up signing a 1-year deal with the Lions, I don't even blame him for this. His agency was literally on Twitter asking the fans, would they decline a 3rd-year option and this and that? It's like, you are a professional agency, and we talked about it here on the show. It made absolutely no sense, for them to be out there saying things like that. So honestly, I think the main root of the issue is that his agency was just not competent, and I think he needs better representation. But after he signed, he started talking about how the front office didn't value him and things like that. And here he is talking about Philly fans who obviously were jawing a lot at him on Twitter after he signed. But to say this, man, he says, quote, "They're bleeping obnoxious. I bleeping can't stand the bleepers," right? I don't want to say that. I don't want to get kicked off the platform, but come on, CJ. Come on, man. This team was a lot of fun last year. You were beloved. You were a fan favorite at one point, right? You led the league in interceptions till you got hurt. The fact that he's coming out here and still saying things like this, move on, bro. Move on. He has gone from maybe a fan favorite to one of the most hated over the recent years in just the span of a few months. CJ Gardner-Johnson needs to move on with his career. He needs to focus on having a splendid season again this upcoming year with the Lions so that he can finally get that bag and get that contract. Because obviously right now, a lot of these players are frustrated, obviously different positions, but, it's pretty tough right now to go out there, especially at that position and make that money, right? So he's got to prove it more. He's got to go another year and be productive. I would have loved to have him back. But at this point, he needs to grow up, man. He needs to grow up. I don't know why he continues to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles were one of the best teams in the league. He had a great time. It really helped boost his career as well. And now he's, again, going back on the Philly fans and things like that. At the end of the day, man, he needs to shut up. He needs to go do his thing. And if he continues to be petty like this, it just kind of shows, a stain on his character. And I know, again, it's all love, right? Chirping back with the fans and stuff. But these were the fans that were so supportive of you the entire season. I know Philly can be a tough crowd, man, but you have to kind of ignore the Twitter side of it. I don't understand saying things like this. Maybe he's in a heat in the moment. I wasn't watching the actual stream. Maybe somebody kind of triggered him to say it that way. I don't know. But to say things like that, man, it's just ridiculous. And, best of luck to him in his career, but he'll never come back to Philadelphia, especially after saying things like that. He needs to grow up. The Eagles will still be better off. They retained the best dynamic duo cornerbacks in the league in Darius Slay, James Bradbury, and they'll be all right. They'll be all right without CJ. They were not paying him that type of money. Nobody was paying him that type of money. And if he was really smart, if he was a businessman, it seems like he's, making other incomes here, streaming and things like that. He would go out and get a new agent because his agent screwed everything up. The Philadelphia Eagles, Howie Roseman, wanted him as a priority, and his agency said no. So anyway, that's where we're at the end of the day. Give me all your thoughts on those comments and everything else down below. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Training camp coming up very soon. Hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe That being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.